On this episode,
how are we getting the stool sample?
You jumping into the water and retrieving it.
Now I'm very nervous.
Saltwater crocodiles are built for one thing.
Far out, mate. He is huge. You got an eye on him?
Billy, he's moving, he's moving.
I'm slipping.
You're very worried, aren't you?
We noticed he was wetting himself a lot in the house.
I'm hoping the lumps and bumps that I can feel is poo.
He'd vomit a lot, wasn't really wanting to eat or drink.
It's always the big scary things that we're looking for, such as tumours in his chest or tumours in his abdomen.
X-rays.
I'm worried because he's lost over 5 kilos over the last few weeks. How very hard. Walked in.
but first...
Go on then.
Get it, bub.
Does look sore on that back left, doesn't she?
We put our hope into Dr. Hamilton now because we would like to get her back.
She's very sore. Ugh. These bones are ghostly. This whole kitten's skeleton is not normal. We've got some kind of underlying metabolic bone disease. I think to cut the bones and drill holes, the bone might just shatter into lots of pieces and we may wish that we never bothered.
Come on, Fernanda.
Come on.
On London's western outskirts, Adrienne and her daughter Janka are worried about tiny kitten Fernanda.
Come on, Ferdy. Oh, we've come here today with Fernanda to see Dr. Hamilton because Fernanda started to be very, very constipated and we saw that she's suffering. And we took her to the vet and then they saw that there is something very wrong with the spine and the hip. And they referred us to Dr. Hamilton.
This is Fernanda's pelvis here, and the issue that we have is that she's obviously had fractures as a very young kitten. The pelvis has collapsed completely. The pelvis here is that wide and it should be kind of this wide. The pelvis is narrowed and she's had, I think, 2 or 3 enemas under a general anaesthetic at the vets because she just can't pass feces through this very, very narrowed pelvis. Hello. Right, morning. How you doing? I'm Michael, nice to meet you. Hello in there. Oh my God, she just winked at me, I think. God, she's so cute, isn't she?
As well as the issues with Fernanda's pelvis, Adrienne has become increasingly worried about a disturbing new development.
Okay, so you just pop her up on the table for me. There we go.
A few weeks ago, Fernanda started to walk in a limping way.
Right, well, let's just have a quick look first of all. Will she come out for us? Yeah, that might be easier, yeah. Okay, let's have a wee look then. Right, hello you. Actually, I'm just going to pop her on the floor, if that's all right. I just want to see if she's moving around, first of all.
Go on then. Does look sore on that back left, doesn't she?
So?
She's quite limpy on that back left, isn't she?
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that. She's very sore, completely unrelated to the pelvis, which we'll talk about. She's very sore around her left knee. So, the plot thickens a little bit.
Michael was planning surgery on Fernanda today to widen her pelvis, in the hope that would restore normal bowel movements.
So that was our plan, to widen this pelvis, but something's happening with this back left leg and we need to just double check that we don't miss anything. It may be that we need to take a rain check on the pelvis.
Disappointment because we regard our cats as our family members. She was the first kitten born in our house and she has a really wonderful personality. She's always friendly, she never cries and we love her.
Okay, so we need to get some x-rays. Fernanda, what's your thoughts? Shall we? Yeah?
We put our hope into Dr. Hamilton now because we would like to get her back.
I'll keep you posted, so don't worry. I'll treat her as I would my own, I promise. Okay?
Thank you.
All right,
Really
no problem.
appreciate you.
No problem.
Thank you.
I've just got off the phone to a mate of mine up here in Cairns, far north Queensland. He's got some health issues going on. He's asked me to do a favour on something that's so massive, it's got to be seen to be believed.
In tropical northern Australia, Billy's making a mercy dash to catch a ferry that will take him to a coral island 27 kilometres off the coast of Queensland.
Righto, that's my ride. I've got about 2 minutes to get there. Wait for me, I'm coming. Hold up, guys. Whew, that was close.
Safely on board, in about 45 minutes, Billy will come eye to eye with the legend of Australian wildlife, whose monstrous size is simply breathtaking.
I'm heading out to Green Island, situated on the Great Barrier Reef, to meet Cassius, the world's largest saltwater crocodile in captivity. He's over 100 years old.
On Green Island, Billy will help assess the stress levels of the larger-than-life world record holder by collecting a faecal sample.
This massive crocodile, every 12 months he has a poo sample taken to check on his health. I'm so excited and I just can't wait to get it.
Billy.
Hey, Josh, how you going?
Thanks for coming.
No worries, mate. So, how's the big fella?
He's all right. He's in a pretty good mood today. We're not sure exactly what we'll be getting out of him, but he could be up, he could be fiery.
Josh is one of Cassius's dedicated and extremely alert carers.
So he's eaten in the last couple of days?
He has, yeah. We gave him a feed in the last couple of days, so fingers crossed he should be a nice stool sample out there. There's no getting around it. Saltwater crocodiles are built for one thing, and one thing only. They're a pretty mean machine. In terms of him as an individual, yes, he's absolutely still a very dangerous animal.
Let's go and have a look, eh?
Yep.
The big question, how are we getting the stool sample?
Yeah, that's going to involve you jumping into the water and retrieving it.
Now I'm very nervous.
All right, Billy. This is Cassius.
Far out, mate. He is huge, massive.
He's a big boy.
Today, it's my job to actually go in there and collect that poo. To do this, I literally have to be absolutely crazy. But I am just so excited to be here today to actually help with this procedure.
Hello, you. Hello.
Just west of London, orthopaedic surgeon Michael is about to take a CT scan of 5-month-old Fernanda, who has an abnormally narrow pelvis and a severe limp in his left hind leg.
Two things happening at the same time here. So yeah, CT scan, and we'll take it from there.
Michael was due to operate on the tiny kitten's pelvis in a bid to stop repeated blockages in her bowels.
This is potentially life-threatening. If this cat can't pass poos, eventually it just kind of dams back up, the colon absorbs the water, the poos get bigger and harder, and then eventually she'll go for food and she'll just wither away. His pelvis is collapsed, but it's got a very swollen left knee, so probably just the whole back half.
But the surgery is now on hold.
She had an enema several days ago at her local vet, and the constipation that was marked on the x-rays is not the case at the minute, so we've got a bit of time on our side, but she's hopping about on 3 legs, so I'm a bit worried that she might have a fracture of a femur.
The CT images of Fernanda's thigh bone are alarming.
That white line there should join up with that white line there. So we've got a fracture at the bottom of the femur here. Here's the pelvis here, and actually there is a little healed fracture there. That's caused the issues with the constipation. We've been thrown a total curveball with this femoral fracture. These bones are wafer thin, not normal density, so I'm really worried that we've got something underlying here, which is probably the cause of the narrowed pelvis in the first place.
The critical pelvic surgery is looking less and less possible.
What we don't want to do is go and do a massive big procedure to widen the pelvis and potentially stabilise a femoral fracture if there's some underlying condition. And I guess my concern is that she might develop other fractures. If we're going to be cutting bones and drilling holes and putting screws in, we might just shatter the bones. We're in a real world of trouble at that point, and that is euthanasia territory.
Far out, mate, he is huge. I got to admit, I am friggin' nervous.
On Australia's Green Island, Billy has just learned he'll be getting up close and personal with monster crocodile Cassius.
He is massive.
He needs to retrieve a fecal sample from the dangerous reptile's pond, which will be analysed as part of a health check.
Tell us about him. How long have you had him? When was he caught?
He's been here at the park since 1987. He was captured in 1984 up near Darwin. He was a problematic crocodile.
Cassius was a really naughty boy out on the Finniss River in the Northern Territory. He was actually attacking boats. He literally bit propellers off the back of outboards, and authorities, they had to do something about it because they were worried that he was going to start eating people. And how big is he actually?
In terms of his measurement, he was officially measured in 2012 by the Guinness World Record Company at 5.48 metres long, so about 17.9 foot.
So now I'm getting in the water with the biggest freaking crocodile in the world.
How are you feeling about that?
Oh man, I am nervous. If there was an easier way for me to get this stool sample, I'd be doing it, but believe me, there isn't. I've got to get in the water. And the reason I've actually got to get into the water and feel around for this stool is I can't risk, if I'm scooping in there with a pool scoop, when I hit that poo, it might fall apart and there's the stool sample gone. So I've got to find a safe spot to enter here.
Billy searches for the best place to encroach on the monster crocodile's lair.
He's only a few meters from me and I cannot believe how big that crocodile is. This is definitely not the spot to enter. So I'm going to come around the back here. This is definitely the spot. Good depth. I'm only going to have one shot at this because once he clues on to me being in the water, he's going to come flying over. So I'm going to have to get my shoes off, enter right here, feel around, try and locate this stool and get out of there quick smart. I've done some pretty wild things in my life, especially the last 20 years working with crocs. Caught some big fellas. I've stuck my arms down alligators' throats to retrieve things. But this, getting in the water with literally the world's biggest crocodile who's biting down at probably over 5,000 pounds per square inch, I am terrified. I cannot stuff this up.
Come on, darling. Come on then. It's all right. Come on. There we go. This way. Come on.
In Yorkshire, Northern England, Louisa is starting the day with 9-year-old Smokey, a timid former rescue dog who's gone off his food and has been vomiting.
You're very worried, aren't you? You're very worried. We'll look after you. This morning I've got Smokey in. The owners are worried he's lost quite a bit of weight over the last few weeks and he's weeing in the house quite a bit. We're not sure what's causing those symptoms, but it's time to try and figure out why. It's okay.
Smokey's owners Mark and Lisa are concerned their much-loved Springer Spaniel Labrador cross hasn't been himself in recent days.
Started a few days ago. We noticed he was wetting himself a lot in the house. He'd vomit a lot. Wasn't really wanting to eat or drink, and he's really unnerving that this was happening all of a sudden. He's my world. He's adorable. He's there when I get up in the morning, he's there on a night when I go to bed. He won't go to sleep until he's got his goodnight kiss at the side of my bed with me. He's my little shadow, and I'd be lost without him.
So we've just given Smokey a little bit of sedation just to do the ultrasound scan because he's a bit worried and also he's a little bit uncomfortable, and I just need to make sure he's completely relaxed to do a good ultrasound scan of his belly and check to see if we can see why he's been vomiting and losing weight.
Before starting the ultrasound scan, Louisa does a physical examination of Smokey's stomach area.
I'm hoping the lumps and bumps that I can feel is poo. good. So I wasn't sure if I could feel something in there. He's a monkey and he's got a bit of a history of eating things he shouldn't do, such as baby toys. But unfortunately with the weight loss, it's a little bit worrying. We're going to start looking from the liver. We're going to look at the stomach, the kidneys, the spleen, the small intestines, pancreas, the adrenals, the bladder, and we're just going to see if there's anything that could explain why he's feeling so rotten, really. This is his stomach here, with a little bit of food in it. It's always the big scary things that we're looking for, such as tumours in his chest or tumours in his abdomen. Unfortunately, cancers do burn calories and they make pets lose weight. So that's the big one that we're looking for. Very irregular.
How very odd. Oh dear.
Getting in the water with literally the world's biggest crocodile. I am terrified. I cannot stuff this up.
On a tropical island in the far north of Australia, it's the moment of truth for Billy.
Got my stick, got my poo bag, and now it's time to go swimming.
He's about to put himself in extreme danger as he looks for a poo sample from Cassius, the world's largest captive crocodile.
You still good, Toddy, over there?
Yep.
As one of Cassius's carers distracts him by offering an alternative food source to Billy, the intrepid crocodile handler slips nervously into the massive beast's watery home.
It is so murky, we can't actually see the bottom very well. I'm going to feel around with my feet and try and locate one of these stools. The dangers involved with getting into the pond, this small pond with this almost 6 metre, over 1,000 kilo saltwater crocodile, it's just madness, but there's no other way to do this. You know, it's so important that we get this stool sample. So I've actually got to feel around, find it, secure it, get it into a bag so we can send it to the lab. You got an eye on him?
Yep.
Crocodiles, especially big males, are unbelievably territorial, and he can sense me in his environment. He's so in tune to everything that's going on. That, to me, makes him unbelievably dangerous.
Hey, go on there, Billy. I'm running out of food.
Unable to distract Cassius any longer,
Billy, he's moving, he's moving.
the dangerous Croc begins heading towards Billy.
Hurry up.
I'm trying to locate a stool. My brain is telling me 1,000 different things right now. I'm feeling around with my feet whilst keeping an eye on this 6 metre crocodile right next to me. I've just got to stay focused and get it done.
Hurry up, he's coming.
How very odd. Oh dear.
In the English coastal town of Redcar in Yorkshire, Louisa is trying to find out why 9-year-old Spring-Adore Smokey has been vomiting and losing weight.
The stomach is full of, I would just say, stuff. It's very hard to see because it's just casting a big shadow. It's not really moving, so that could explain why he's vomiting. In one respect, it's a reassuring scan. I can't see anything stuck because he's prone to eating things he shouldn't do.
However, when the focus turns to Smokey's bladder,
See, like the bladder walls, very irregular.
the ultrasound scan reveals something less reassuring.
You can see how the wall is meant to be nice and thin and the same thickness all the way around, but you can see that there's bits and bobs growing into the bladder that's not meant to. I have seen some changes in his bladder that I'm a little bit worried about, particularly with this history of this chronic weeing issue that he's got in the house. So I'm gonna look a little bit more into that now. There we go, this way, come on.
Louisa hopes X-rays will shed more light on what's been making Smokey throw up and put him off his food for almost a week.
I'm just going to check that there's no obvious cause for the weight loss, so essentially no tumours. And then we'll finish it off with some abdominal x-rays as well.
Hopefully, the X-rays will rule out cancer as the cause of Smokey's illness.
X-rays.
So this is a real worry.
West of London, CT scans have revealed to Michael that 5-month-old Fernanda's severely compromised bone density is the likely cause of multiple fractures.
These bones are ghostly. This whole kitten's skeleton is not normal.
The critical pelvic surgery needed to improve the kitten's extreme constipation is now on hold.
These bones are very, very, very weak. And so I think to cut the bones and drill holes, the bone might just shatter into lots of pieces and we may wish that we never bothered. There's definitely something drastically amiss here. Hello Adrian, it's Michael the vet calling here.
Desperate to find out if there might be another reason for the abnormal bone development, Michael rings Fernanda's loving owner Adrian.
We've got some kind of underlying metabolic bone disease, and I think that's why we've had a fractured pelvis in the first place. I need to go back to Adrian and ask some more questions, particularly to do with diet. It's extremely rare, but it may well be that there's a dietary reason why these bones look like they do. What do you feed her currently at the moment?
So this liver patty and also just normal ham and some chicken.
Okay, you might think that that's lots of protein for a growing kitten is a good thing, but that kind of diet is not a balanced diet, and I think that is almost certainly the reason why she's got these problems. If Fernanda is in effect on what sounds like an all-meat diet, that is a potential reason why these bones look like they do. There's an imbalance between calcium and phosphorus, and the net effect is that the body, to try and address that, actually starts to absorb the bones. I know you do anything for her, but we can't just be fixing fractures every week, and I think at the minute that's exactly what's going to happen. So it's absolutely vital that we get her onto a much more appropriate diet. Now, if she won't eat another diet, that's a real challenge because the bones may fracture at any moment. So surgery today, I think, would be potentially a really bad decision. Are you happy with that for now?
Yeah.
Okay, lovely.
Thank
you very much. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Probably the best outcome we could have hoped for, because we have a pretty much nailed on reason why these bones look ghostly. Hopefully, if we sort the diet out, things will reverse quite quickly.
X-rays. Oh God, lad. Good boy.
In Yorkshire, Louisa has completed a series of X-rays she hopes will explain why 9-year-old Springador Smokey has been vomiting and losing weight.
The stomach's got lots of gas in it, but I can't see an obstruction anywhere. There's nothing sinister. So good news on the X-rays that I can't see an obvious reason for his weight loss. Frustrating when you haven't got an explanation for the owner, but sometimes we have to go through these tests to actually give them the reassurance that we can't find anything sinister. I like medical mystery, but I'm still worried because he's lost over 5 kilos over the last few weeks, and that's quite a lot of weight, so it's making me wonder, is there something else that I'm missing? I don't know what's wrong with you. The next thing is to try and get a wee sample and look more closely at his urine to see if there's an ongoing infection that is essentially making him poorly and lose weight.
Boy.
Hopefully, the urine sample will finally bring a resolution to Smokey's medical mystery.
I think on the wee sample there are lots of white blood cells. That could be just a urinary tract infection, but there's also quite a lot of these cells. They look like little eggs. And the worrying thing is those cells can look like bladder cancer, so something called a transitional cell carcinoma. So I think it's really important that I'll send the urine sample and the smear that we've made into a lab for a specialist to have a look. So this is just an anti-sickness injection. I didn't want to give him that until I confirmed that he didn't have anything stuck like a foreign body, and then we'll get him awake. Hannah's going to set him up on some nice medications and hopefully it'll just make him feel better, and then we can get him home shortly. You won't have a rest in there, darling.
How you going over there, Toddy? All good?
I'm running out of food.
In Green Island in tropical far north Queensland, Billy is under threat from the world's largest crocodile in captivity.
He's moving, he's moving.
There's a part of me today that's really thinking, am I up for the job? This is really dangerous. It's the whole thing, yeah, he's the biggest crocodile in the world, but he's just so unpredictable. He's so smart, he's so in tune. I've really got to watch myself. I can hear him over there breathing out. Really intimidating.
Billy still hasn't retrieved a stool sample from the monster croc, required for an important health check.
I'm having no luck yet, but he was sitting here for a good hour. My emotions are running absolutely berserko. I'm feeling around for a stool. I've got a 1,000-kilo crocodile to my right. This massive crocodile, he's huge. He'd smash it just like that. Oh, what's he doing?
Billy, he's moving.
He's going under.
Hurry up, he's coming.
I'm trying, but I can't find anything. All right, I got something at my feet. I can actually feel the stool at my feet, but Cassius is starting to move. I need to move quick, smart. That feels like. That is exactly what we're after. Nice big croc poo. As I grab that poo, Cassius swings around and starts making his way towards me.
Billy.
He's starting to come over. That's my cue to get out of here. I'm slipping, trying to get out of here. Whew, far out, mate. One fresh crocodile stool for you. Hopefully I don't have to do that for another 12 months or so.
Fingers crossed. I really appreciate you coming out and doing that, mate. How did you find it?
Mate, I was very nervous in there. I reckon he could have felt my heartbeat. I'd probably hear it. It was just bouncing out of my chest. I reckon I've got to go to the bathroom myself after going through what I just did. So I'm out of here. Looking back at being in the water with Cassius, it was unbelievable. You know, my emotions were going absolutely crazy while I was in there. You know, every part of me was saying, Bill, get out of here. Other parts saying, get in here, stay focused, get the job done. But overall, it was fantastic. You know, at least I can say I've been in the water with the world's largest crocodile.
And to say thank you for not eating me, Billy has a treat for his gracious host.
Sorry, big fella.
Want to come out? Want to lie down?
In the northern English town of Redcar, Smokey the Springador is awake and feeling much better.
You want to do paw? Oh, are you the paw? Yeah.
After being off his food for several days and weeks of losing weight, Louisa has managed to get the 9-year-old eating again.
Smokey's been on his intravenous fluids. He's doing much better since he's been in here. He's not had any more vomiting. He's eating well, and I think at this point he's quite excited to go home.
It's a privilege.
Thanks.
Enjoy it.
Eager to take him home are Smokey's adoring owners, Lisa and Mark.
It's not been the same getting home and he's not been there. He's always at the front door waiting for me and like jumping up for cuddles, so I'll be glad to get him back.
Let's go and see Mummy. Come on. Mummy's in here. Did you hear him scrambling to get you? Hey! Did you miss them? Did you miss them? He says...
Really lovely to send Smokey home, and you can see how much Smokey means to them.
Oh, such a good boy. You lovely. You've been a superstar and you've not been a nice boy, haven't you? He's going to be on some antibiotics for his urinary tract infection. There was lots of white blood cells in his wee and it looked all inflamed and nasty. We didn't find anything sinister on the chest x-rays or the tummy scans, other than his bladder just looked a little bit unhappy. And you can lose weight from an active infection like the urinary tract stuff. So the plan's going to be that we're going to send his wee sample off and hope that it's something that we can get on top of. Fingers crossed everything is just treatment with medications.
Yeah.
That'll make you feel better, make you wee better and make you gain a little bit of weight. For Smokey, it's the best outcome really. You know, he's had some medications to make him feel better and he's going home without the need for surgery.
I'm so happy to have him back. It's a massive relief. Such a good boy.
He's a lovely boy. A rescue boy. Shall we see you soon? Come on then. It's home time now. Come on then. Come on then.
Come on then. Oh, good boy. Come on.
In the far north of Australia, Cassius, the world's largest captive saltwater crocodile, passed his health check with no concerns. And with a more than healthy appetite, after 100 years on planet Earth, the legend lives on.
Oh, such a good boy.
In northern England, Smokey, the bouncy springador, has recovered fully from a bladder infection that stopped him eating and caused him to lose a lot of weight.
Good boy.
Laboratory tests on his urine showed the super-friendly 9-year-old had no sign of cancer. A course of antibiotics has him back to full health and running around as if he'd never been sick.
Such a happy boy.
Welcome, Fernanda. Come on, Ferdy, it's food time.
It's been 2 months since kitten Fernanda's brittle bone disease was diagnosed. She's been on a special diet ever since, which has turned the young cat's health around.
Come on.
To the enormous relief of her adoring owner, Adrienne.
Yeah, eat it. Changing the diet fixed her, and now she is not fragile. And Dr. Michael said that we probably won't need the surgery after all. You wanna come out, Ferdy? Come on.
Fernanda's sister Coco is happy her playmate's broken bones have healed, and she's going to the toilet normally, without the constant bowel blockages that threatened her life.
We enjoy life. Two little sisters. When Fernanda was in pain, Coco wanted to play, but Fernanda has pain. And now they're playing again and sleeping together again. So they are so happy to be together again. Two little crazy girls.
So my sister was feeling really sad. I wanted her to come back home so badly.
Adrienne's daughters Emma and Janka are also thrilled to see their fluffy friend finally home from hospital.
You wanna come out, Ferdy? She was in the hospital for 4 weeks. My daughters, they missed her a lot. And when finally I told them that she's coming home, they were really happy. You don't want to play anymore? 4 weeks was quite a long time. I wasn't sure if I will ever get back this little cat. And now I hope she can have a normal life. Come on, Ferdy. Come on.